Ever wonder why everything in the universe is just, right? Why do stars burn at just the right temperature, planets form at just the right distance, and atoms exist at just the right size? Some scientists call this the Goldilocks principle. But here's the unsettling part: by all calculations, none of it should even exist. So is our universe perfect by design, or just an impossible accident? The universe, with its infinite stars, galaxies, and cosmic mysteries, seems almost too well organized. It's as if every law of physics, every atomic particle, is working together with perfect precision. Scientists and philosophers alike have been asking for decades, why does the universe seem so fine-tuned for life? Are we just lucky, or is there something more going on? Stick around, because today we're diving into one of the biggest cosmic mysteries: why is our universe so perfect? Imagine the universe as a machine, every gear and cog perfectly aligned. If just one setting changed, even by the tiniest fraction, everything could collapse. Stars wouldn't form, planets wouldn't exist, and life as we know it. Not a chance. The problem is, nobody really knows why all of these cosmic settings are just right. Scientists call it fine-tuning, and it's one of the biggest puzzles out there. Because the odds? Well, they're so staggeringly small, it almost defies logic. So what's really going on here? Is there a hidden force at play, some unknown law of physics we haven't discovered yet? Or are we simply the luckiest beings in the cosmos? Let's break down this strange cosmic alignment and explore some of the mind-bending theories that scientists have come up with. All right, let's start with the basics. Our universe operates on a delicate balance of fundamental constants, things like gravity, electromagnetism, and nuclear forces. These forces might sound complex, but they're basically the settings that control everything. Think of them as nature's dial settings. Each one is incredibly precise, and if even one of them was slightly different, things would get weird fast. Take gravity, for example. Gravity is the force that pulls things together, like holding us down on Earth or keeping the planets in orbit around the sun. But here's where things get interesting. If gravity were just a little bit stronger, stars would burn through their fuel too quickly, and the universe would have ended in a violent collapse. If it were weaker, stars wouldn't form at all. So we have gravity sitting at this magical, perfectly balanced value, just strong enough to let stars form, but not so strong that it causes everything to implode. Next up is electromagnetism, the force that holds atoms and molecules together. If it were even slightly weaker, electrons couldn't orbit around protons and atoms wouldn't form. That means no chemistry, no complex molecules, and definitely no life. On the other hand, if electromagnetism were stronger, atoms would stick together too tightly, making it impossible for any chemical reactions to happen. Once again, we see this bizarrely perfect balance. Let's rewind about 13.8 billion years to the Big Bang, the moment everything began. The conditions right after the Big Bang were set up in such a precise way that it allowed matter to spread out and form galaxies, stars, and planets. Scientists call this the initial conditions, and they're bafflingly precise. If the explosion had been just a tiny bit more powerful, matter would have scattered too quickly, and galaxies wouldn't have formed. Too weak, and it would have all collapsed back in on itself. Here's where things get really strange. All these factors, gravity, electromagnetism, nuclear forces, initial conditions, seem to cooperate in a way that's almost too perfect. Physicist Paul Davies calls these the cosmic coincidences. And they're basically a collection of mind-bogglingly unlikely events that somehow all happen just right. It's almost as if the universe has a checklist for life, and every single box is ticked. One explanation scientists throw around is the Anthropic Principle, which says that the universe appears fine-tuned because if it weren't, we wouldn't be here to observe it. In other words, maybe it's not that the universe is fine-tuned for life, it's just that we happen to be in a universe where life can exist. Sounds a bit circular, right? But it's one way to sidestep the mystery by saying, hey, if the universe weren't like this, we wouldn't be here to wonder about it. Here's another wild theory: the multiverse. Some scientists believe that our universe might be just one of countless others, each with different settings. So, in a way, we're just living in the universe that got lucky with the right combination of constants. In other universes, maybe gravity is too strong, or atoms can't form. We just happen to be in the one that got the perfect recipe for life. Then, there's the idea that maybe this perfection isn't an accident at all. Some people argue that the universe is so precisely tuned that it must have been designed by some intelligence. Whether it's a god, a simulation, or some advanced alien species that created everything, it's an idea that has stirred up a lot of debate. It's a controversial thought, but it's one that some people find hard to ignore, given how precise everything seems to be. But here's the craziest part. Even with all these theories, anthropic principles, multiverses, intelligent design, nobody has the answer. The universe's perfect balance remains one of the greatest mysteries. And the more scientists discover, the more impossible it all seems. Think about it, we're on a planet, orbiting a star, in a galaxy that's part of a universe with just the right conditions to allow us to even wonder why any of this exists. It's almost too perfect, and that's what drives scientists and philosophers to keep questioning. Because if everything is so finely tuned, then, for what purpose? So why is the universe so perfect? We've looked at gravity, electromagnetism, the Big Bang, the cosmic coincidences, and the wild theories of multiverses and intelligent design. But at the end of the day, nobody really knows. Maybe it's all just a cosmic accident. Maybe there's a grand design we can't understand yet. Or maybe we're part of something even bigger than we can imagine. All we know is that we live in a universe that feels almost impossibly perfect. And as long as there are questions, there will be people searching for answers. The universe may never reveal all its secrets, but that's what keeps us looking up at the stars, wondering about the impossible balance that allows us to exist at all. If you enjoyed exploring this mystery, make sure to subscribe or check out our last video on the planet Mercury.